Hey everyone, welcome back to my channel. So I'm currently preparing to take the TOPIK II exam. So in today's video, I want to share with you my 4-5 month study plan as to how I'm going to prepare for the exam. So if you are preparing or thinking about preparing for the TOPIK exam, then hopefully today's video will be really helpful for you guys, and hopefully it will inspire you to create your own study plan. Okay, let's start. Okay, so the first thing I want to talk about is what resources I'm going to be using. So I got a ton of books. Some are directly topic related and some are not. So I'm going to kind of break down what I'm using and for what purposes. So the first book I'm using is this in Korean grammar and use the intermediate one because I'm aiming for topic level 4, which is about the high intermediate level. And I would say most of the grammar in this book I know already. I just want to go and review it, and I also want to go through like anything I'm not super familiar with. There are a couple things I don't know, so I'm gonna go through this book a bit quickly before I start doing any other topic related stuff. Okay, and so the next book I'm going to be using is the Complete Guide to the TOPIK exam. Now this book looked really nice, really helpful, but it also looks a little bit basic. So I kind of decided to get my fingers a little wet. I don't know the expression. Just to kind of jump in and get things started, I would start with this book because it has a general overview of all the question types. There are some example questions and stuff that I'm going to get into, but I think it's a pretty good like starter book. And then I've got some other books that are a little bit more heavy duty. Okay, and so another book I have is this like topic, I don't know, I've just been calling it TOPIK OK. I don't really read the title because I'm too busy. But this book is pretty intense. It goes through all of the question types really in depth, and it breaks the questions down and then gives you example questions. And I find that this book is basically an intense review of a topic test. Like essentially that's what the book is. But this book seems way more heavy duty, so I kind of feel like this is the meat of my topic study. And then I have this Cracking the Topic book because, Cracking the Topic writing, because writing for the topic I think is probably the hardest part for most people, because to be honest, I don't spend a lot of time writing essays. The most writing I do is in a text message or, I don't know, writing notes. So I'm gonna focus on this book, I think, after getting through like the other books. So I just have those books for the topic prep, and then I also have the Korean Grammar and Use Advanced version because I do feel like I'm probably confidently a level 4, and I think after I get through all of the topic related stuff, I want to come back to the advanced grammar and try to bump up my knowledge just a little bit before the test time. So I'm not going to go through this whole book. I'm just going to go through a little bit later when I get the time. Okay, and naturally I will be focusing on vocabulary retention as well for the topic. So actually that TOPIK OK book comes with this little tiny book with lots of vocab in it, but specifically vocab related to the test that's in the book. And my guess is if it's preparing you for the topic, then the vocab in this book is going to be topic related vocab. So I'm going to kind of add this on top of my daily studies. I'll probably learn a few words every day and then use Anki to review. And then if I get through this book, I'm going to move on to the Korean 2000 Essential Korean Words Intermediate. I've actually already started using this book, but it's a giant book, so like it's not realistic to finish this book in any significant amount of time because it's just too much. So if I have time later after I get through my topic prep and I get through the topic word book, I'm gonna probably go here and get into, there are some topics related to like quantity and quality and also things related to life and society. And I think those topics are probably going to be really relevant for the exam, especially the writing. So I might try to dabble in a few of the topics in this book later. So I guess my plan with my resources is I'm gonna go through, finish up the intermediate grammar, jump into the topic prep books, and then of course I'm going to be doing mock tests throughout my study plan. I just don't want to specifically schedule them because I kind of feel like if I schedule them now, something might come up. I like to just kind of remember to do them every few weeks or so. Okay, and the next important thing that I consider when making a study plan is time. How much time do I have? So between now and when my exam is in July, I have about 20 weeks. And I also do not count my weekends. It's easier for me to commit to a study schedule on a work day, so on a weekday for me, than it is on the weekends. And that doesn't mean that I don't study on the weekends. It just means that I don't like plan to study. So if I get behind, I might use the weekend to catch up. And then just some weeks the weekend might just be extra study time, which is fine too. But when it comes to my actual study plan, I don't count the weekend days as part of the plan. And then I also try to take into consideration like my birthday, holidays, special days where I might have off work, or you know, like Christmas or some special event where I'm probably not going to want to study that day. Like back in December, I looked at the calendar and realized I'm not going to study on Christmas Eve. I'm not going to study on Christmas Day. I'm probably not going to study that whole weekend because I'm going to be doing Christmas things with people. And so it's good to look at your calendar in advance and to try to think realistically what days you're probably just not going to study. My birthday this year is on Monday, and I'm probably not going to be studying on my birthday. Let's be realistic. So I'm just going to count that day out now. Okay, and then after I've kind of figured out how much time I have to work with, I will also try to think how much time will it take to get through each text. So this means like looking at the book and identifying like how to break it down into study sessions. Because you know, like a book could have 10 chapters, but 10 study sessions for that book might be way too intense, right? So I will try to break it down in a matter of like what I could do in one sitting. And then I will make a note of that in my notebook or something, like how many study sessions I think it will probably take to finish this text. Okay, and something that's really important when making a study plan, especially something so long in advance, like a 4 or 5 month study plan that I'm making now, is to consider like realistically things might happen and your study schedule is actually likely to change. So what I do is I try to set a priority. I try to think what resources I really prioritize, like I should finish these. These are the most valuable in this study plan, and I set those aside as my priority and I get to those first. And then everything else that isn't like a high priority, I try to say like some things I might finish, I might plan to finish them, and then some I might just plan not to finish, but either way I will know that these were not high priority. So if I do not finish them, or if I do not cover as much material as I expected, that's okay, as long as I really got my high priority stuff done. So obviously in my topic study plan, all of my topic specific texts, like all of the books specifically related to the topic, are my high priority. I would say the intermediate grammar is also high priority because I'm just trying to solidify where I'm at. And then pretty much everything else that could come after that is just going to be supplemental, and it's not going to be my highest priority. And when it comes to making my schedule, I like to focus on one resource each day, because I think that the biggest problem I have is over cramming my schedule, like with a very hopeful expectation, like, oh, I'm gonna do this and this and this today, and then this tomorrow, and it's gonna be great and it's gonna be fun and I'm gonna like really enjoy this. And then when I sit down and actually start studying, I'm like, I don't want to start because what I set aside for myself is just ridiculously like too time consuming. Especially like because I like to study after work. I like to study 1 or 2 hours, that's about it. But I tend to like schedule in something and think that it's only gonna take 1 or 2 hours, but it actually takes like 5 to 7. So I try to keep it simple and just stick to one resource to try to limit myself from doing this to myself. Okay, and then finally, once I've kind of got an idea of how my study plan is gonna go, I will start writing things into a list about, you know, what I'm gonna study what day. And as you can see, I haven't filled out the full list because I know that things might change and I don't want to kind of get stuck into a situation where I've set my plan in stone and must follow it. That is also why I do not write my plan into my actual planner, because I know that things are likely going to shuffle around a bit because of my daily life, and that's okay. I want to be flexible. I don't want to be a perfectionist because that's just gonna make me go insane, you know? Like, as I'm studying and using my study plan, I may find that some days I feel sick or tired and I need a day off. I just need rest. Or I might find that my study plan is too overwhelming, too intensive. I might have to adjust the pacing. Something might be too easy, or I might start to feel like this isn't really effective. I don't really need this. There's so many things that can change and go wrong and go right with a study plan that I just think it's better to create a plan that you can reference and adjust as you go, because being flexible in your study plan is pretty important. The point of a study plan is to give yourself a guide to stay on task to work towards your goal. Even if things happen and you have to change up your study plan, or after 2 months you just make a whole new one, that's okay too. The most important thing is don't be a perfectionist. Be flexible and just keep studying. I think after a couple months, I'm going to make a video updating you about my topic studying progress and also let you know how my study plan is working out. Okay, so if you made it this far and you are still watching my video, thank you so much. I hope that this video was helpful for you. And if you are studying for the topic, or you've already taken the topic and you have tips, advice, or you just want to share your own methods, please leave comments below so that I can see what you guys are all doing for the topic exam as well. Okay, and that is it for today, guys. I will see you next time. Bye!